Ever wonder what makes the greats great? What makes the successful successful? What makes the brilliant brilliant? Our Tuesday meetups with the celebrities of pharma industry and science are your one-stop shop to all these answers and more. Join us for Pies of Life, an initiative of the Biopatrika Industry Mentorship Program, where we bring your dream mentors to you.
Yeah, before we start, just few housekeeping things. Please keep all of your mics on mute. And then once our initial discussion, we'll start our question answer session. And if you have any questions, please put in the chat box. I will announce your name and then you can unmute yourself and then ask the questions. So now I would like to ask Charu to start the session.
Welcome all to our Pies of Life. This Tuesday evening, we have with us the Vice President for Product Development at Biofusion Therapeutics as our guest. A well-known name in the scientific and industry circles, she was instrumental in bringing the world's first biosimilar Trastuzumab to life. And she doesn't stop there. Beyond being an advocate for better medicine, she has adopted an orphanage in Bangalore where she spends a considerable amount of volunteer time. You know of her, but now you will know her. Welcome to a Te with Jyoti Iyer. Jyoti, I'd like to invite you to tell us your life story in your words now.
Thank you. Thanks, Naren, for introducing us to this wonderful program. So what I've done is I prepared a few slides, which I'm going to share. It'll just help me in walking us all through my journey. And as I speak, I also wanted to announce that I've actually resigned from Biocon, and I am starting something new in my life now. So I'm basically from the suburbs of Mumbai, born and brought up in Kalyan, and I did my schooling and the early education in Ulhasnagar and Kalyan together. And for people who know Mumbai, they know that this is like the place where you have to take a long train journey to reach Mumbai. I completed my pharmacy from Varli, which is Kundrani College of Pharmacy. And then after multiple attempts, I finally could get into UDCT, and I completed my MTech in Bioprocess Technology and PhD from UDCT. So that's about my educational phase. I also had a brief stint in the pharma R&D. I worked in German remedies very briefly, but I was working with Mayer Organics for almost 2 years. So then I joined Biocon in 2005-15 Jan. This is like I completed 17 years 2 days ago. And then titles changed along the period. I mean, you can see a lot of titles, associate and then scientific and whatever. I mean, so a lot of multiple changes along the journey that I had. Most importantly, I would like to emphasize that it was a huge learning process. I started a team. I was the first person to join the purification lab. I was hired to start a team. So I started the purification team, which is called as MDL, or the Mammalian Downstream Lab. Now, I mean, it's called the purification lab was started in in Jan 2005. The process is, I really started from the scratch. I got trained in purification, analytical sciences. I learned scale up, tech transfer, viral validation, overall CMC. So it was actually learning on the job. And then I also had a team, which, we were all learning together. So I brought on board a young group of scientists and engineers. We developed the team together and developed a lot of biosimilar maps for Biocon. So that is about the journey in the technical part, but also its leadership opportunity. I got the opportunity to lead a couple of biosimilars. The most important one being the Trastuzumab biosimilar. I was leading the CMC section for the biosimilar Trastuzumab, and then also Bevacizumab, which is Avastin. I also handled ASPART and the PEG GCSF, but only partly. What I gained in this journey, I learned about the biologics and biosimilar development. I participated and contributed to healthcare. Most importantly, I realized that I could do this. Now, when I look back on what was different or why this work does, I realized that the place allowed me to work without fear, without an insecurity. In the process, not only did I build self-confidence, but I realized that the entire team with whom I was working, all of us kind of had a lot of confidence about everything that we were doing, because it was completely a team job all along. I also gained a lot of leadership experience, taking care of the team and also leading the project, the Biosimilar Trastuzumab projects. So during that, there have been multiple experiences in real life as well as spiritual, in a spiritual perspective, that have really humbled, and I've become, I would call myself a technical leader, but more with a humanitarian perspective. I like to think about myself as a leader with a humanitarian perspective. Not sure how true that is, but that's how I like to think about myself. I learned or realized the significance or the importance of culture. It's the most important thing of empowerment, teamwork, mutual respect and trust. I mean, it is mutual. The respect and trust has to be mutual. Of sharing knowledge, very, very important to make sure that you share the knowledge. Keep people comfortable. Make sure that you're able to take risks as you progress in the ladder. One of the things that you have to help the new members with is making sure that you are taking the risks yourself, you're making decisions for them, and helping them understand how to make decisions. So a lot of these things I have gained as a part of my journey. The highlights I would say in my journey or my career is the first project was Nemotuzumab. It is not a biosimilar, it's a novel mAb, but we got this technology or this molecule from CIM, and then we had to develop or modify the process. We modified the process here, we scaled it up, and we launched Nemotuzumab in 2007. So the entire process of developing or working with the process, scaling up, being at the manufacturing. I mean, I think in 2006 or early 2007, I was with the manufacturing team overnight, scaling up this product. And when we launched this product, it was one of the biggest highlights of what I have done. I mean, I like to very, maybe with a little maternal instinct also, but like to say that this is the best thing, I would say, MDL team, co-creating a team and maintaining its culture. When I say co-creating, because a lot of us were doing this at the same time. It was not just me, but a team of young scientists and me. We created a team where people could join, and the culture allowed anybody and everybody who joined to grow, learn, and participate freely. I also became the key opinion leader for the Biocon CMC team when I was developing the biosimilar. So for the entire CMC part, slowly I grew from sharing my opinions to then taking on the lead for the Biosimilar Trastuzumab project. So when Dr. Kedarnath Shastri was retiring, he was leading Trastuzumab project. So when he retired, then I was given the opportunity to handle this project. And that was, I think, eye-opening experience for me. It was very intense, but definitely, I think it completely changed a lot of the personality. I mean, my personality changed with this particular project. I was leading the team, but more importantly, I authored or conceptualized, and I mean, along with the team, the analytical similarity report for Trastuzumab I presented and discussed with the FDA auditors, which was again a highlight because of everything that I'd heard until then and what the reality was completely different. I realized that science, if you are able to have a good rationale, if you are able to scientifically explain, logically explain and discuss with the agencies and regulators, actually they are very, very collaborative, and it was a very humbling experience for me, the entire process of creating this analytical similarity report and sharing it with the auditors. More importantly, why I remember this is because we had literally around 5 to 6 rounds of back and forth, and even then we could get through it. So it was it was a great experience. The other highlight was being a part of the ODAC team. I was a member of the bullpen at the FDA. So that was a very important event, I would say. Then responding to the EMA FDA, I don't think we had any count of time at that time when we were like presenting the dossier or compiling the dossier, submitting the dossier, and then we started responding to the agencies. I don't think all of us, I mean, the entire team, we had any count of time. We used to work overnight and respond to the FDA because they would send the questions in our daytime. I mean, in our nighttime, and we would have just hours to respond to them. So this was another, I think, enriching experience where I realized that if you can empower the team and motivate the team, then everything was possible. There was no limitations to what each person can contribute. Then I also had an opportunity to actually not discuss only with the EMA or FDA, but I went to some very interesting places like Turkey, Brazil, Mexico, Malaysia, and quite a few other places where I had to present the CMC section. So the other opportunity where I got to present not just Biocon, but also India. I mean, they said, oh, this is the first product coming from India, so you must be very proud about it. So all of those discussions and these multiple meetings I mean, it just completely enriched my overall career and experience. I think the final one where I mean, for Biosimilar, I authored I authored the variant characterization section. It was a challenging technical section. So I actually authored it, and that was another achievement, I would say, or a highlight, I would say, in my career. So this is how I like to put it in a picture. So this is in July 2006, and this is about when we were we were launching the nimotuzumab just about that time, but it was for the inauguration of our facility. Abdul Kalam had, the President Abdul Kalam had come, and he was discussing with us, and I don't know what I'm talking to him, but probably I'm just, this was in 2006, and this is the ODAC committee in 2017, July. So it's been a wonderful, great journey, I would say. I think I would like to be a leader with these skills. I mean, integrity, honesty, definitely. I put decision-making skills. I mean, I'm sure Naren appreciates this, that decision-making skills, quick and I mean, not too much of deliberation, but the right kind of deliberation to make decisions, have the capability or generate or what do you say, come up with ability to do a risk assessment, have a healthy appetite for risks, which is balanced. Most importantly, ability to collaborate and work in a team, passion, diligence, learning agility, keep learning always, courage to accept failures, respect, empathy, and self-discipline. So this is what I think I would like to be remembered as a leader. So with that, I think I stop sharing, and I'm ready for answering questions or taking any questions.
Jyoti, I personally am truly amazed, starstruck, and spellbound. You are 100% made in India and a truly remarkable lady with such a variety, and your achievements are so impactful. I just want to say the floor is now open for questions. Please drop them in the chat box, and Vikram will announce the lucky first questioner.
Or it will be easier if you'll just raise hands, that will be fine.
Right.
So Virender, please go ahead.
Hi, Jyoti. So yeah, I was there in Biocon from 2008 to 10, and I could see insulin as part and GCSF. So I was actually handling the method development in quality control and method transfer from HPLC to FPLC for this product. So, so good to see, like, yeah, so you were like part of it too. So I have a question, like, how you see India as an innovator compared to like developing biosimilars? So do you think like in future India will be like one of the innovators for biotherapeutics?
Okay, I'm going to answer the question as well as I can, but I would definitely require support from Naren for this question, because he's probably in that domain now where he's interacting with multiple other industries. So I definitely believe that India is going to, I mean, we are already there. So Biocon has already stepped up, and it is not just Biocon, but I think a few other companies have already stepped up for innovation in India. Like Biocon has a separate company for which I'm a part of, Biofusion, which is focusing only on novel drug development. So it is not biosimilars, but only novel drug development. We also have Immunil, which is not a part of Biocon, but another entity supported by Kiran. I think, I don't know whether that's the right word, but Immunil also, which is focusing on the stem cell therapy and the CAR-T and so on. So Virendra, I definitely would like to believe, because if you look at the support provided by BIRAC or DPT, I am sure that this is the journey we are going to make next. Now, since we already have a very good understanding of biologics development, how to develop biologics, the next path very clearly seems to be developing novels. And I don't see that there is any other option for companies in India also. Naren,
Good to hear that.
No, I don't have anything to add. You've really covered all the points that I would have made. Yeah, thank you.
Shruti and then Surekha.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Shruti. I worked in Biocon for 1 year in the manufacturing division, which used to produce Trastuzumab and Bevacizumab. So I work closely and I could relate with whatever you said. So my question is that, what are the challenges that you faced while you were interacting with the regulatory like authority to convince and get the approval of the product? I mean, different challenges you faced in different countries and while representing India also.
I don't think presenting from India was like, that was never, at least I never felt that they are considering India and East separately. I also think that because we were partnering with Mylan, we also had a global entity, right? So I don't think that was ever a challenge. Shruti, when it comes to challenge with the FDA regulators, I think I would put time, especially because we were in different time zones, that as the top in the list, because we had to work at crazy hours just to meet the timelines. I mean, although it is not, there's not enough said about it, but getting everyone to understand the significance of the answering the question in the right time and making sure that the correct information is presented and so on was, I would say, the biggest challenge. See, there are also other small things which we learned along the process. That is the significance of data collation and the Alcoa principles, which is basically, now we understand it very well, of the correct recording on time and all that, right? But at that time, we were not so very well equipped, right? So we did have to correct ourselves as we progressed. And that was not easy at all. I mean, as we progressed, we realized that we have to work very hard on improving our Alcoa. And now Biocon is, I think, has really learned it very well. But when we started and we realized that that was a learning process, I would say, challenging. When it comes to discussion with the regulators, I think as long as we were scientific enough in our rationale, we had, if we had a logic, if we could explain to them very logically and scientifically our thought process, which also came after a lot of deliberation. I mean, each of the issues that we were discussing with the agencies, we used to have a lot of deliberations and discussions internally, and make sure that we are looking at everything holistically before discussing with it. So if we had that, it was actually quite easy to convince the regulators, as long as we were scientific and logical about it, at least for the CMC part.
Okay, thank you. Jyoti, thank you for joining us. And it was a wonderful introduction. You're so humble for someone who's achieved so much. It's truly inspiring. I'm Charu Gupta. I work in the medical affairs department at Biotech, which is a CAR T-cell manufacturing company. And I also work with Biopatrika, and that's my venture into science communication. I wanted to ask you if there's a special quality that you look for in people who apply to your teams, or is it based on their experience, some sort of qualification, or is it just a gut feeling that you incorporate people into your team with?
Actually, I mean, I've never thought about it that way, but I think passion for science comes top to my mind when I think about people whom I'm interviewing. Like, it comes automatically in the way they answer, or the way that there has to be a love or passion for what they are doing. I think that is what I look for when I'm interviewing people. Experience is not required for every position, right? I mean, but for some it is required, but for if you need a refresher, then you're not really looking at experience. I think, of course, it is good to have a like knowledge of not just what you are doing now, but a little about what the industry is doing also. Like that is something. It again indicates how interested the person is in moving in this field. I mean, is it only for a job in terms of salary that they are looking for, or how keen are they about R&D and what the industry is doing? Mm-hmm. I think, Charu, that's what I would say. It's very difficult to put that as a list, because it is definitely not gut feeling. I mean, when you interview a person, I think you can understand also a little bit about the personality. I mean, I like people who are open and transparent. Like if they don't know, if they say, no, I don't know, right? That's something where I think I prefer people who very openly and transparently, honestly say stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I generally try also to make people very comfortable when I'm talking to them. So then if they are able to express themselves freely, it also shows a little confidence in, I mean, in the way they approach, and that is definitely an added plus. Right. I hope. Yes.
Thank you.
Naren, before you can go, Surekha is back, so probably she can ask and then.
Thank you so much, Vikram. Sorry about that. I think there's some issue with my network today. So Jyoti, my question for you is, could you tell us a little bit more about what your experience was like being as a part of the ODAC team, and what that whole interaction was like with the board?
So the ODAC team, the day of when we had the committee, was more about, I would say, just an aura of being in that place and just being a part of the team. That was more like an experience. I won't say I did anything technical on that day. It was just great to be visiting there and being a part of the inside team, whatever we call as the bullpen. So that particular day was, it was just like an event, just an important event, very, very important event in my life. But the journey in preparing for the ODAC was very intense. That's what I would say. We used to have, so Naren has been in this journey with us all along. In fact, I would like to say, thank Naren for leading us in that journey. Yes. So we used to have trainings I think it was once in a month in the US. So we had to travel, like, I don't remember how many, maybe 6 to 8 times in 4 to 6 months, if I'm not wrong. I mean, Naren might know the count better, but it was like you're just coming back from the US, and again, you have to be ready for a training session. And we had prepared like some 1,000 questions. Yeah, I mean, we prepared a huge list of questions of what could be the potential questions that could come up, and preparing answers for them, training on how to communicate if any particular question comes up. And literally, it was a training for everything, like speaking correctly, the right way, and so on. So it was a very interesting experience. That's the way I would like to put it, Surekha. It's a once in lifetime opportunity, and I am very glad I was a part of it.
Thanks, Jyoti.
Naren, please add.
No, I think you've covered a lot, and I think I want other people to have. I've talked to you so much, but I just since no one had raised their hands, I raised mine. But maybe
ODAC.
I'll switch gears.
Do you want to share some experience about the ODAC?
Oh, about ODAC. ODAC was. Can I take a shortcut on that and say read my book? Jyoti's story is in the book. Jyoti actually features quite prominently in the book. But Jyoti, if I can, change gears a little bit. I was really. I've known you for several years. Our experiences. What changed that you become this person that you are, like, from empathy, you use the word spiritual. Like, what are the things that made you who you are today? Were there any particular things that came up in the last 4-5 years?
One, I think I would say, Naren, is the success that we got with Trastuzumab. It was a big, I would say, boost. It was a huge boost because when I tasted the success, I felt in awe of that. But at the same time, after seeing that, I realized that that's momentary. I mean, it doesn't stay forever. That feeling doesn't stay forever, right? It's just a moment that you have to enjoy and share with everyone, and then you have to move along. I mean, but I would say that the feeling of achievement or completion that we got with that journey after so many years of efforts and being a part of the team that built this, right? A lot of us, a lot of us built that. So I would like to say that it is not just one thing, Naren, it was an entire journey. There were a lot of obstacles along the way. And for some reason, I used to feel that the obstacles are getting sorted out by themselves. I just didn't have to do everything by myself. I mean, I didn't have to look at every single problem or every single challenge. I didn't have to solve that by myself. It looked like there is a collective force or energy that is helping in solving this and taking it towards a goal. So I like to think about it as each one of us dreamt collectively about making Trastuzumab a success. So that is, I would say, a very spiritual experience for me. And because many times I used to think about, how did this even happen? How did we know about this so much earlier in advance? I mean, if we had not known at the moment, maybe things would have gone in a different direction. And it was not just one incident, right? I mean, we are waiting in front of the auditor's cabin to share some reports, and then we realize that, oh my God, have we completely taken all the signatures or not? And the person is not available, and how are we going to solve the problem at that time? And so many small things that happened along the way, right? It's not just one thing. And so the energy of so many people thinking collectively or envisioning collectively for the common cause, I feel that was the reason for a change in my thinking significantly.
Okay. Thank you. Wonderful emotion.
Yeah, Nikhil, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Jyoti. Thank you for sharing your experience. I am Nikhil and I'm a postdoc here in Singapore. So my question is very different. It's not what you presented, but it's more on the, as you just mentioned about the auditor side. So for any product to become a success or for progression to be from an R&D to a product, the costs and the economics play an important role. India, for some reason, is still not investing enough amount of money in the R&D development for biologics, as and Virendra asked about the innovator. How much trouble or problems you face in the economics or the cost side to either promote a product or to make it efficient or less cheaper product compared to any other competitor?
So I'm going to be very honest, Nikhil. Okay, I'm going to give you a very honest answer. Okay, so being the first product, right? I mean, Trastuzumab or Biosimilars for us was the first product. And I think we focused on speed and getting the product in the dossier. I mean, getting the product approved. That was what we were focusing on. And so in terms of cost, I don't think we paid a lot of attention to the economics of the product itself. We were thinking about it, but it was more on ensuring the quality. I mean, making sure that we're getting the product right and getting it as similar in quality to the innovator as possible, so that there are minimal challenges in approval for the costs of manufacturing, I would say. But in R&D, I think we have been very fortunate at Biocon. All of us who have worked at Biocon, we have been very fortunate because we have a wonderful R&D with actually the state-of-art infrastructure. Like, I mean, right from like multiple mass specs to so many ACTAs, or I mean, we really have a great facility and infrastructure. So investment, at least in Biocon R&D, was not a challenge. I'm not sure about how the other industries work because I've never worked anywhere else. So, but Naren, again, do you want to add anything?
I mean, there's lots to add, but but I think you're right. I mean, I think Biocon is privileged to have the resources to do what they need to do. Yeah.
Thank you for the answer. It's very pleasing to see the progressive mentality of the at least the Indian the leader people, the leadership to invest more money. And yeah, Biocon is having the state of the art facility. My senior Shenbaga Murthy also has set up a new mass spec center over there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Before I go to Surekha, I have a quick question. So you are such an accomplished scientist. You are busy all the time. So you mentioned about the volunteer work which you do at the orphanage. So how did you manage that? How did you get time and along with like a normal work and then with family and then doing a volunteering?
I do have time on my weekends, Vikram. So again, I'm going to be honest. I am single. So I had the privilege of having time on my side. So my weekends I used to use for my passion. So volunteering or being with kids, I won't say volunteering, being with kids, spending time with them and just being a part of their life is something that is very, very close to my heart. So I used to manage to take out time for it during the weekends, sometimes during the weekdays also. And in the beginning, I remember I just used to finish work and 5:30, 6 o'clock, I would be at the kids' place. So I actually spent the other part of my life, which was not at Biocon, I used to spend at this place called Advaya. And so the kids, this is again a 10-year journey. I've completed 10 years with Advaya also. And the kids are all grown up now. They have completed the 10th. Many of them have completed the 10th and 12th, and they are in college now and so on. So it's just a passion. It's very, very close to my heart.
Oh, that's amazing, because generally the thing which comes to my mind is like we work on weekends also when it comes to science. So that's why I thought, okay, but that's really good to know that, yeah, you can take weekends off. So yeah,
not
that's
every
reassuring.
weekend. Yeah, no, not every weekend, but yes, many weekends, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you. Surekha, please go ahead.
Thank you, Vikram. Jyoti, so you started out your career as a scientist in Biocon and before that in German remedies, right? So as a scientist or as an entry level, you're mostly on the executing side of the experiments where you discuss it with your seniors and you execute. So at what point did you feel you were ready to, or as your experience, I mean, as the number of years you were working increased, at what stage did you feel, or how did you know that you were ready to sort of go into a team lead position, or how did you feel that you were ready to make decisions for a team? I'm not talking about where you're at now, but like much early on, how did you feel that you were ready to make that transition or grow that way?
So Rekha, again, I would say I have been very fortunate and privileged because straight after my PhD, I came into this role, right? I mean, I was a fresh doctoral student who had just submitted my thesis. And Biocon had this opportunity where they were creating a group of people for developing biosimilars. So Ankur Bhatnagar, me, Karthik Ramni, we were all just, not graduates, but students just right out of college. And we were given this opportunity to learn and also become leaders as we learned.
Thank you.
Charu, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, Jyoti, in your introduction, you mentioned that you've now decided that you don't want to continue working with Biocon at the moment, and you're starting a new venture. So, if you can tell us a little bit about it. No? Okay.
No, I'm not starting a new venture. I'm actually taking a break. I'm taking a break, Charu.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go home. My home is in Mumbai. My parents live in Mumbai. So I'm literally going to step back for some time and rethink on what my priorities are, because I realize I have a lot of passion other than science or leadership role. I'm also very keen about contributing to the social sector. So I think I may find something more, I would say, where I can see a direct impact on the society. An NGO is what I'm thinking about joining. I mean, I will also continue freelancing, consulting in the biotech sector, teaching, academics. I would be taking up part-time opportunities in the academics and consulting. But I would be also spending a significant amount of time in the social sector.
Yeah, and I'm so, with your answer, I'm so happy that you said this, because, you are at a stage in your life, you're the vice president, and, you've gotten biologics out there and everybody knows you. And it's so important that you said that it's okay to take a break and to reassess your priorities. Like, we don't have to move on the same track, and it's okay to give yourself time. And like, I think that's just a brilliant thing that you've said today, and that's my takeaway. Thank you.
Yes, Naren, please.
I was just going to say to all the people who are on the call, please ask questions. This is an incredible opportunity to ask questions. So I encourage all of you to ask some questions. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay. I have like a question, and I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Vikram Gujar. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at Northwestern University, Chicago. So I have this thing, like, you've been working in science for very long. So did you think about moving to other country like US or Europe when it comes to, like, doing research? Because in India, we know that certainly there are things which are in a naive phase. So has it came to your mind that, okay, I can go somewhere and do the research?
We were the lucky few, Vikram. We were, I was a part of a lucky team in India who got a lot of, I would say, the opportunities in science. We were so busy developing what we were doing. There was never a need for us to look. I never had to look anywhere else. I was very happy doing what I was doing. All the time we were learning. When I look back, I know I'm looking back now. At that time it didn't feel exactly like this, But when I look back, I think until 2016, 17, we were learning every single day, and there was something happening all the time. So at one point of time, I was handling QA, quality assurance, and then for this project manager role, I had to, technical lead role, I had to learn a lot of other stuff like regulatory, learn manufacturing, understand manufacturing and so on, right? So there's a lot of learning that had to continuously happen. So there was never any time to think that, oh, I have to think about moving anywhere else.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll have Vedant as our last question, and after that we'll move on to our next session.
Hello, Jyoti ma'am. Hello, Narendra sir. I am Vedant, currently pursuing my master's degree in bioanalytical sciences from Guru Nanak Khalsa College. I would like to ask ma'am that, as you said earlier, that you started working for Biocon in biosimilars or biologics as a fresher. So how was your first experience like entering in the world of biopharmaceutical at the first instant?
I didn't probably understand the question, Vedant. Can you please repeat it?
Ma'am, you started working as a fresher at that for a biosimilar. Yeah. How was your experience about that?
So Vedant, when I joined Biocon, I was not trained very well in purification sciences. Like I was, I had a PhD in biotechnology, but I was more of an upstream. I used to do bioreactors. I was more of an upstream person, and also had trained in molecular biology techniques and so on. So purification was very, very brief part of my PhD. So I actually had to start with learning how to use an ACTA and HPLC and so on. So the experience was more of a learning phase, I would say, with very good support from my seniors. There's a lot of support that I got from my then manager, as well as the other team members who were working on insulin. So it was an enriching learning experience, if that's the question that you're asking.
So I'm afraid I have to interrupt here, and we should move on as we have only the hour. And I think you all are welcome to send Jyoti your questions on LinkedIn to continue this one-on-one mentorship. Is that okay, Jyoti?
Yes, I'm not very active on LinkedIn. I can share my email ID. Is it okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
I'll just put it on the chat now.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we'll continue getting to know Jyoti a little bit more through a quick and spontaneous rapid fire round hosted by Shruti.
Hi, ma'am. I would like to ask some quick questions, rapid fire questions, and hope you like it. So what is the antibody, the favorite antibody you worked with?
Nimotuzumab.
Okay. The one person who always inspires you?
Naren.
Okay. Can you tell me one talent that not many people are aware of? Your one talent.
Okay. I think I showcase my talent very well. So I am learning singing.
Great. Okay. So you have taken a lot of roles. So which role did you like the most till now?
My role as a team leader for the purification team.
So what advice would you like to give to your younger self after getting so much of experience till now?
Be more patient with people. Learn to respect people around you. Don't judge easily. I think if I would go back and change, these are the things. I know I was quite immature and impatient in my younger days, and when I think about it, I don't like that. So those are the things that I would definitely want to change in me.
Okay, so what is One dream, I mean, lifelong dream you would always have.
I think I like the fact that I'm continuing to learn. I like learning new things and knowing new things. So I think I want to be a learner through my life.
Okay. One quote that resonates with you.
One quote that resonates with me. I don't think I have any particular quote. I just was listening to something yesterday, and Gandhiji had said that my life is my message, and that really I felt very powerful. I mean, I think it was some video that I was watching, and about this lady who was talking about how to like be kind to yourself, something like that. And then there was this quote from Gandhi where he says that my life is my message. So I think it's a very powerful message, because you don't have to think about one instance or one moment. It's just a person who you are. I mean, that's what I want to be. I would like to be.
Great. So, people like me, I procrastinate a lot. So I would like to know that what is the one thing that motivates you to work always and not be lazy?
So I'm going to share a secret with you, Shruti. What happened is, in the last few years, I came across the power of yoga and meditation, which I realized it really helped me stop thinking and doing more action. But it is not just the exercises of yoga that we do, but I realized that I'm able to bring that energy from the practices of yoga. I'm able to bring those energies into my daily activities. The power of yoga and meditation is, I would say that's what really helped me go from I won't say that it's 100% possible, but at least it reduces to a great extent if you are able to regularly do these practices of yoga and meditation. That's where I started believing that our Vedic sciences, I call that Vedic sciences, Vedanta or Vedic sciences, are a treasure of information for us to grow as well-rounded human beings.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I mean, it was a real pleasure talking to you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Jyoti. Your humble nature, amazing achievements have become an inspiration to us all. Your openness, honesty, clarity of thought are pillars that we would all like to live by. So I would just like to say that please send in your burning questions to Jyoti personally. Her information is in the chat box.
A network should last a lifetime. Let us help you create lasting professional relationships with our world-class mentors through the Biopatrika Industry Mentorship Program. A strategic guidance program unlike no other, full of expert interviews, industry internship opportunities, CV writing, inflection point analysis, life maps, and of course, the gateway to your dream career. For a limited time only, all our services are freely available for you, as we truly want you to succeed.